Alrighty guys, so it's been a while since I made a actual handheld camera video, something that wasn't a gameplay, and this is something I've been meaning to do for a while now. I've been asked a lot if I have a build overview of my system, and I don't. I had one a long time ago, but I don't anymore. And I figured everybody would like this, since a lot of the videos I make I get asked what the specifications of the machine is that plays BeamNG and all the other gameplay videos that I upload. So hopefully this will give you a good idea of what kind of system gives you what kind of performance. Now this thing is not the latest and greatest technology. It is a build that has got some few-year-old parts in it, at least. Everything in here, besides the storage components, I'd say is a couple of years old. CPU and GPU are about 4 years old now. So let's go ahead, open it up, and actually the main objective of this video today is we're replacing the thermal compound on the GPU to see if I can yield a little bit cooler temperatures when pushing the maximum overclocks. It is a reference Radeon HD 7870, so you can only do so much as far as temps are concerned. But as far as the component rundown goes, the case is the Corsair 100R. It is a decent case. It's about $40-50. And it's about what you'd expect for $40-50. Doesn't have any sharp edges. Cable management's alright. It's not amazing. Has up to 4 mounting points for hard drives and SSDs. That kind of thing. Just a basic case. Motherboard is the Gigabyte 970A UD3P board. It is a 10 plus 2 phase power delivery, or 8 plus 2 phase power delivery. It's a 970 chipset board, so again, it works. It's not uber expensive. I got this board for around $70 when I ordered it. And it does not support SLI, it does support Crossfire, but the bottom PCI Express slot is only electronically 4X. It is a full PCI X16 slot, but as you can see, pinout wise it's only 4X, so I don't know if running Crossfire on this board is the greatest idea. For the CPU, it's an FX 8320E by AMD. It's currently overclocked to 4.6 GHz. The liquid cooler is the Enermax 120X by there's the Lictech 120X by Enermax, and I got mine for I think $74. The price has gone up. It's now like $87, but it is a beast of a cooler for what you pay for. It's built really solidly. It's very quiet, at least with the fans on their quieter modes. If you let the fans ramp up to their full speed, you will hear it, and you will need headphones. Their full speed's like 2700 RPM, so it's not real quiet at those speeds. But right now they're limited to 1300 RPM, and you cannot hear them. Let's see. Storage options. I have 2 Team Group L7 Evo SSDs. 120 gigs apiece, and they are in RAID 0 for the operating system. And the games drive is a Western Digital Blue Series 1 terabyte hard drive, 7200 RPM with 64 megs of cache. It's a very decent drive for the price. It's $49 right now. RAM, we have 8 gigs of DDR3 1600 MHz, just one stick, so I can upgrade to I think a maximum amount of 32 gigs later on this board. I don't remember if it's 32 or 64, but going 64 gigs of RAM on this motherboard is utterly pointless. Power supply is the Deepcool 80 Plus Gold certified 550 watt. I don't know if the camera will let you read that or not, but it has also been holding up wonderfully when I push the system and whatnot. Excellent, excellent, excellent power supply for the price. But let's get the two 6-pin connectors unhooked from the graphics card. And get the rear panel cover disconnected. Ah, shit. So one thing you don't want to do is drop screws on the floor. I'm going to do this with 2 hands, so I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we got the graphics card out, and as you can see, it is the Diamond Multimedia Radeon HD 7870 GHz edition, and we got a little bit of dust gathering on the fan, but that's what the system looks like without a graphics card in it. Nothing too special, but I'm going to get this cover off and take off the bazillion screws that hold everything together. And one thing I wish you guys could feel is this card weighs like at least 2-3 pounds. It is seriously heavy for what it is. But you'll see why in a second, so I'll be right back. Alrighty, so all the screws have been taken out and the cover is ready to come off. So let's take a look at what this thing looks like underneath the cooler. So basically, underneath that shroud, you get this right here, which looks kind of like a small form factor Pentium 4 heatsink, to be honest. It's nothing like super special or anything like that. But you get the blower cooler here, which cools off the VRMs as well. And this is all you got. It's all that cools it off. Underneath this metal plate here, metal or plastic, I'm honestly not sure which one that is, it contacts the VRAM chips and VRMs and that sort of thing and helps cool them down. So that is pretty nice. I haven't decided whether or not I want to take that plate off or not. We might. I don't know. But I'm going to get this cooler off and get back with you guys. I got to take off those 4 screws right there that the camera isn't going to focus on at all. But, alright. I will be back. Alrighty guys, so here's the card in its glorious naked fashion. This was the previous thermal paste application. So it's about what I normally see. And I got all those components. I actually washed them down, cleaned out the fan, cleaned out the underside of the blower casing, cleaned off the metal rigidity plate that cools the VRAM chips and whatnot. So got that all nice and clean. The thermal pads are still good, so I don't need to replace those. But yeah, for anyone wondering, if you have one of these older Radeon cards, you can just replace the fan. It's held to that body over there by 3 tiny screws. So if it ever needs to be cleaned or replaced, it's a super easy thing to do. But gonna get the thermal paste cleaned off, the new stuff reapplied, and I will talk to you guys when this is back together. And yeah, that's what a reference 7870 looks like. Looks like a 4+1 phase power delivery, so nothing special there. Alright. Alright, so new thermal paste is applied. Cooler is for the most part reassembled. Still got to put the cover back on, but look how nice and clean the fan is and how freely everything spins. No specks of dust, no nothing. Got it all nice, perfectly cleaned up. We used some Arctic aluminum, premium ceramic polysynthetic thermal compound. This was like $7 for this 13 or 15 gram tube. 14 grams. So yeah, best investment ever. But I'm going to get the cover back on, get it installed, and then we'll do a power up and whatnot. So, be back. Alright, GPU's all back together. Let's stick her back in the system, take it in there, get it fired up. Now that's pretty. All ready to go. Alright, let's go do some temperature testing. Alrighty, system's all hooked up. Let's give it a power up. System's gonna do a double boot because this Gigabyte board has done that since it was new, and excuse the garbage truck going by. Today's garbage day, but alright, here we go. See if we bricked anything. There's the first power off. And now the system should boot. You'll see the RAID controller check the RAID array before it loads the OS. There's the RAID. Alright, and here comes the OS. This is Windows 10 Professional, by the way. Actually took a little while longer. I've noticed since the last update that even on RAID SSDs, Windows 10 is so much slower to boot than my Windows 7 was. Let's load this up. So currently the GPU temperature is 27 degrees Celsius. CPU temperature is 28 to 31 degrees while it's loading things. But as you can see, we're running 1200 megahertz on the core, 1375 on the memory. My main objective was to get a little bit better temperature so I could push the card a little harder. We're actually running at 1.35 volts under load. Not well at idle though. But let's load up Valley Benchmark and just see what how loud the card is, if it got any quieter. Running on the Ultra preset 1080p. We're going to, if it'll let me, there's my mouse. Turn off the sound and let the temperature slowly rise. And of course my camera isn't going to focus. But right now it's at about 57 degrees Celsius. 58, 59. I'll let you know when it plateaus. Starting to hear the fan. It's one bad thing about reference coolers is they are leaf blowers. 67 degrees. Before it topped out at about 81, 82. We're at 71 degrees Celsius right now. But I'll let this loop for a while and get back to you guys. Okay, so this has been looping for, I'm running the benchmark and it's on slide 16 out of 18, and we have capped out at 73-ish degrees Celsius, almost 70, well, it's kind of hit 74 now. 73, 74 is what it's sitting at. Before it was 81, 82 while looping this, so, and this is with a voltage increase past 1.3 volts. So that's pretty darn good, honestly. That's a decent increase. That's a decent decrease in temperatures. I could be happy with that. And here's the overall score. That is on Valley at max settings, so in case you're wondering how it scored in that. But fan is quite a bit quieter than it was, so overall I call the thermal paste replacement a success. So I will see you guys later on.